Hey gang, Serial B here. If you've been in the COS loop lately, you may have heard of a little something called... Yeah, I had no idea this was even a thing until like 2 days ago. Apparently, this show has been in development since 2023, based on this article I found from the wiki. Now, some of y'all are probably going, sweet, I've always wanted to see an animated adaptation of COS. This is like a dream come true. Hold on, buddy. Before you get too excited, this is what the official designs look like.
What the hell? Oh my god!
Yeah, these designs speak for themselves. As a longtime player of this game, they look pretty damn awful, especially when you consider what creatures they're actually based on. So the thing in the middle is a budget Galarian. The one in the back is if Goofy was a Hygos. No one has figured out what the pink thing is. Some people say it's a new unrevealed creature, but you know what I think? I think it's a marketable plush. The only reason they made this was to sell toys. So now that you're all up to speed on this complete shit show, let's get to the real reason why you came here. You wanted to see what the designs could have been if they had just applied the right principles. So for this short exercise, I chose to do a Fundrake since it's my favorite creature as of recent. Now instead of being a lazy bum and only using the reference pics on the wiki, I went in-game and took some additional references, which I know is something that the show creators didn't do. The reason why I'm designing a juvie Fundrake is because the show's demographic is clearly for kids, so it's safe to assume that these abominations have been aged down for their target audience. Too bad the show forgot to erase the galley cows and Goofy's adult features. The next thing I did was draw a 15-minute sketch of my Fundrake. This was a good time to break down the show's design philosophy and figure out how certain aspects can still be incorporated into the in-game model. The biggest change I've made is for there to be less exaggeration on the design, since COS's creatures have very realistic models. I genuinely don't know why the show decided to deviate from this core quality of the game, especially considering that this was what they were originally going for. The next design aspect I applied is what I call the rule of threes. The best way I can explain this is that there's pretty much a bit of free in everything. Heck, there's even a bit of a rule of fours going on. The show probably did this to create symmetry in the designs while also keeping them easier to animate. And the last thing I did was apply a slightly angular look to the sketch, mainly in the eyes and limbs. And without further ado, here is the final design, which took around 2 hours.